Hello and welcome to Verbling. I'm teacher Oakley, and for the next hour, uh, we are going to practice our English speaking by answering more or less random questions, but not really. Basically, here on Verbling Hour, after this class, I will be teaching an IELTS preparation speaking course. So although the questions are random, they're not really random because I will be asking questions basically with the IELTS and or the TOEFL or CAE speaking test formats in mind. So the questions will be similar types of questions as will appear on these exams. However, this class would be good practice for any second language English student. Okay, we'll basically be having conversation. I'll be asking questions, and then I'll give you feedback about your answers in regards to vocabulary and sentence structure and organization. Hello, Heidi. Heidi? Hello. Heidi, can you hear me? Are you connected okay? Okay. Come on in, viewers. Let's get this class started. Not sure if Heidi's having a connection problem, or I can see there's a lot of viewers. Come on in if you plenty of room in the class. Oh, okay, there we go.
Hello.
There we go. Hello, Heidi.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear now. Okay. Hello again, Heidi. Welcome to the class.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I have a concern about bubbling because yesterday, daytime in Japan, there are no lessons. Recently, a lesson number decreased. So.
Really?
Yeah. I'm concerned about the budget because it's too cheap. Our fee is too cheap.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Before I was another online school student. The system is very similar to bubbling. It was cheap. Finally, went bankrupt. So.
Oh. Is that your concern? I don't think that's a concern. And as far as classes, I don't know. I can only answer for myself. I know I've been picking up more classes recently, but I don't know about other teachers. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know. Time of the year? I'm not sure. Any case, hopefully not. Lots of viewers, come on in and join us. They're great. So we can get started here. Hello, Sasha.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Okay, as I was mentioning in my introduction, these are random classes, just English conversation speaking practice, but I will be asking questions that may appear on some of the I'm pulling my questions from standardized tests like TOEFL, CAE, and IELTS. So the topics will be topics which are very common to these exams. But of course, again, good practice for anyone. So for example, I'm going to start off with basically the only question which you know you're going to get on the IELTS speaking exam. which is usually the first question. Basic description, the basic description type of question, very common in IELTS or CAE for that matter. Heidi, simple question.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about where you live.
I'm living in Japan, Osaka. Osaka is the second largest city in Japan. But actually, my place is not just center of Osaka. We have about 50 prefectures, and each prefecture have several cities and like towns. My place is the city, but not just Osaka city, but still under Osaka prefecture.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a great answer. Plenty, for any if you're thinking about a standardized test, 5 or 6 sentences, a great answer, some extra detail. And it was a great answer because also it makes me want to ask another question. So, Heidi, are prefectures kind of the same thing as counties, similar to counties?
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
In United States? Okay.
So each prefecture has some capital,
Right.
And Osaka prefecture, Osaka city is a kind of capital.
Okay. In America, same thing with counties. They're not called a capital, they're called a county seat. But yeah, there'll be a county-wide courthouse, a county-wide sheriff's office, a county-wide basic government things. So okay. Thank you. Because I never could really understand what prefectures were. Thanks. That was a good answer and a helpful answer. No grammatical problems, no problems with vocabulary, and the delivery was quite good, using intonation and a natural flow of speech. So, good example. Okay, thank you. Okay, a number of folks have joined us, so I want to quickly welcome Rashid. Is it Rashid or Rachid?
Yes, Rashid. Hi.
Rashid? Okay. Hi, Rashid. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Terrific. Where are you from, Rashid?
I'm from the Netherlands.
Ah.
It's now 6 a.m. in the Netherlands, so it's very early for
me. Cool. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Okay. And Min has joined us. Hello, Min. How are you today?
Hello, teacher. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Terrific. Nice to see you again. Yes. And also Ahmed has joined us. Hello, Ahmed. It's been a while.
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Good to see you again. Haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Welcome to the class. Okay. Let's continue. I'm going to continue with Sasha. Another type of question which is common to these tests. Sasha, I'm going to start out. Tell me a little bit about where you live, and then I'm going to ask a follow-up question.
Okay, I live in a small town that is 70 kilometers to south from Moscow, that have population of 250,000 people approximately. I don't know what to
Okay,
say.
all right. And anyway, I wanted to get to a little more detail. This question, by the way, in IELTS, the detail you can add, you can say anything about anything, the population, the kind of work people do, geography, the weather, crime, pollution, and basically anything. But keeping that in mind, Sasha, I really wanted to get to my follow-up question anyway, which is what are the advantages and disadvantages of living in this city?
For me, I don't see any disadvantage, but I see many advantages for me, as it's very quiet, and the place where I live, the part of the town, has a small forest. I don't know actually how it's called, because we have the name for forest, and we have a special word for it's also forest, but not very big, not so vast as a real forest. So it's very clear air here, and there is a couple of rivers in our town, which is also very good for spending time in weekends.
Okay. All right. For anybody that is doing any test preparation, the magic kind of rule for TOEFL or IELTS or CAE is you want to try to talk about two different aspects. When you answer the question, that's kind of the magic thing. TOEFL is all about two things, because you're summarizing 2 points that speakers are talking about, or 2 points that a lecturer is making, or you're giving your own information. To have adequate material, that's kind of something to keep in the back of your mind. All right, kind of got 2 points there from Sasha. A little feedback. I forgot how many kilometers you said. South of Moscow. You said to the south, to south of Moscow. South of Moscow. North of, west of is usually if we're drawing a reference. Okay. I live, for example, I can say I live about a half a kilometer west of the river, for example. Okay. Now, you said something, da-da-da, where I live. The sentence was fine. And then the next sentence, you said the part of town is called the forest, and then you explained about it, which was good. But probably because you're using a pronoun, it might be better to say this part of town. Okay, because you said there's a forest near where I live. The part of town is called, okay, probably better to say this part of town instead of the part of town, because you've already defined it, and especially places, we often use this, or that to talk about a place when we're referencing it. And last little point, on weekends, not in weekends.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Also, at, I think, would be correct also.
Yeah,
At
well,
weekends.
you are correct. I forget that, and thank you for reminding me, because British, well, you're absolutely right. British say at the weekend.
Yeah.
What are you doing at the weekend? Americans say on the weekend. So, good point. They're both correct, but at is British and on is more American English. Yeah, you're right. Okay. In regards, Rashid, I want to talk to you. In regards to an IELTS exam, for example, you're going to get the question, tell me about where you live. That's the only question you know you're going to get, and then who knows what other topics you will discuss. Although almost every time in the IELTS exam, you will hear this question: Rashid, do you work or do you study?
I do both. I work and I study. So I work and I have a full-time job. and I work in a bank in a big bank in the Netherlands. And I'm also studying. I'm doing a master study, which called no, I don't know how it's called exactly, but but it's a master. It's a and I will finish the study, I think, in 2016.
Okay. All right. Okay, your speaking was great. Your little outside reference, if I could correct that, which is called, and then you said, I don't know how is called. Which is called, whatever it is, and oh, I can't remember how, not how, but what it is called. Okay, so, you know, if I, for example, look, what is this item called? I wouldn't say, how is this called? What is this called? It's a pencil. It's called a pencil, like that. Okay. Well, for the for the point of improving your English vocabulary, and so you can talk about what you're studying, you're getting a master's. Is that it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Can we figure out what it is so you can talk about it with your other English-speaking friends?
Yes, I can talk about a little bit. It's a study which is it's approaches from the business and from the IT. It's from the both sides. So you can do business cases. If you do an investment on IT, then you have to make a business case to know how much it costs, and so you can give advice to the management if they must do it or not. That kind of. And it's also on process management. So everything which you can do in a effective or efficient way. So so you have to analyze some processes and also give advice about things to do it in a shorter way or to do it in a cheaper way. That kind of things.
Okay, so more or less systems analysis.
Yes, yes.
Okay, interesting. Interesting line of work. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure what your master's would be called. Systems analysis, IT systems. I'm not sure, actually. Another small, quick English note for you. You have to look at it from the both sides. Just eliminate the. You don't need the. Okay, you don't need the when you have a quantifier, which is both, because you know both is telling how many. So when when you use the word both, you don't need the.
Okay, that would be from both sides.
There you go.
And not from the both. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I get a lot of trouble from both of them. I can't say from the both of them. Although, frankly, I have to be honest. I have heard native speakers use that, but it's definitely wrong. It sounds weird, but you may hear even native speakers say that. Native speakers make all kinds of grammar mistakes in reality. Okay, before we move on, just want to welcome Ken to the class. Hey there. Hey, Ken.
Yes, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Terrific. Good to see you.
To see you again.
All right. Okay. We'll get to you in just a minute, Ken, and give you a chance to answer a question. I would like to talk to Min for a minute.
Yes.
Min, another very common topic in any of these standardized exams are free time activities. Let's start with the basic description. Min, what do you do in your free time?
Yes, in free time, I usually watch TV, movies, and I spend a lot of time surfing the internet. Yes, and learning English.
Sorry, what was that last?
Surfing the internet and learning English.
Learning English.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, all right, you've answered the question, and there's nothing wrong with that if we're in a normal conversation. You and I are just chatting. But for those interested in an academic test, when you're answering these questions, you most certainly have to add more detail. Okay, so okay, let me ask you a follow-up question. You said you like to go to the movies?
Yeah. No, I watch movies
Watch
on
movies.
yes, what film on the internet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, I see. And you mentioned watching TV. By the way, watch TV,
Yes.
not TVs. I'm sure you don't watch several TVs at once.
Yeah.
Maybe you do. Could be wrong. Okay, let me ask you. Here's another type of question. Again, keeping in mind that you have to give detail. Min, how often do you watch television?
I often watch television at night after I go in back home. Yeah, and and I watch the television with my wife and my child.
Okay. Okay. Now, all right, you're answering the question, that's fine. In real life, that's fine. But for those who are preparing for exams, you really have to have more to say. Here's a technique you can use. It's when you have a direct question like how often do you do something, or where do you do something, or who do you do it with, or when do you do it.
Yeah.
A good technique is to say, well, it depends. That forces you to break it into two different areas. You have to talk about two things. So you could talk about, for example, when you watch TV during the week and when do you watch TV during the weekends, for example. Okay?
Yes.
Do you, so basically, exactly how you were telling me that, oh, you watch TV when you come home from work with your family. All right.
Yes.
So you could easily talk about on the weekends when things are different. You're not working. So gives you more to talk about. Twice as much, actually. That's a technique that you can use. Okay. Okay. Here's a. All right, Min, I'll come back to you. I'm going to keep going around here. Let me talk to Ahmed for a minute. Ahmed?
Yes.
I'm gonna stay on the topic of free time, and I'm gonna ask you another typical question in these exams, and that is a future question or a hypothetical question. Ahmed, what free time activities would you like to try in the future?
Okay. Really, I'm thinking I like to do many things. First one, in the future, I like to travel to many countries to enjoy and to see the weathers and to know many people, cultures in different countries. On another hand, I would like to learn how to proper swimming because little bit I'm not familiar with swimming, and I like swimming in the same time. So I will enjoy with my friends to go many places and many beaches and enjoy your life. Uh, More, I like to visit my relative people around the world because I have many people relationship with them and they live far to me and I have to come with them and to communicate in the right way.
Hmm.
In overall, I need to add values to me and to my relatives and known peoples.
Okay. Okay. Now, Ahmed, I like the fact that you're definitely giving me 2, 3, actually even 4 different points. I'm stressing the idea, the magic number, you should have at least 2 different things to talk about when you answer a question. However, Ahmed used 3 or 4 things. That's definitely not wrong. The more the merrier. That won't hurt you. But Ahmed, let me talk about a few things here. It's a future question. What free time activities would you like to try in the future? Okay. So I like to try. You should be using would. I would like to try, or another modal. I might like to try. Um, or I might. Okay. Possibly I would like to. You might even use adverbs, or I'm probably going to try. Okay, something like
Okay.
that. Clear you're talking about the future. If you're definitely going to do it, then you go ahead and use future tense. If it's a maybe for the future, use a modal. I would like to, I might like to. Okay, the weather, not the weathers. All right, weather
Okay.
cannot be plural. It's an uncountable noun. Okay, I like that you tried to introduce another point with a signal phrase. You actually used on the other hand. Um, it it might fit in a certain way, but usually we use on the other hand to introduce a contrasting point. Uh, so on the other hand would work but I don't have much time. So on the other hand, with the time I have, I would rather use it learning how to swim, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So uh, a better signal phrase might be another activity I'd like to try, or something else I'd like to do, something like that. And you want to learn how to proper swimming. I want to learn how to swim properly. You should use the adverb properly because you're talking about an activity. Okay.
Okay.
So how to swim properly. And then you want to learn these things so you can enjoy, you said, so you can enjoy your life. Well, you really mean you want to enjoy my life. Well, you're speaking, so I can better enjoy my life. Okay, and my relative people, just my relatives. You're,
Okay.
you have many relatives all over the world, so these are your relatives. You don't have to say relative people. And
Okay.
they live far from you, not far to you. Far from you. My cousin lives very far from me.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And that's about it. Okay, I think at the end you were trying to make a conclusion, which is okay, but I don't know if what you were trying to say, all of these things could add value to my life, and maybe to others. I'm not sure. Anyway, I filled up my notes. Turn the page. Okay, but thank you, Ahmed. You got the
Thank
right
you.
idea. You're trying to give different
Yeah.
points, and you're trying to introduce them with signal phrases. That is very important in organizing your speech in English. You got the right idea. Okay. Thanks. All right. Heidi, I'm going to move on to another topic. And that topic, Heidi, will be sports. All right, a preference question. This kind of question is not a type of question, the type of question in a TOEFL exam for question 2. You will have a preference question. You'll be asked to choose one and then say why you prefer that. Heidi, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Everyone's having difficulty with their connection today, it seems to me. I don't know. But anyway, talking sports, do you prefer watching or playing sports?
Oh, tough question for me.
Good.
I dislike both watching and playing both.
Okay.
But sometimes, for example, Olympic Games or World Cup, when Japanese team participated at that World Games, I prefer to watch on TV.
Hang on. When they what? What was the word you used? When the Japanese teams what? Persuaded?
Participated.
Participated. Okay. There it is. Okay. All right. When the Japanese teams
Participate.
Yeah, I'm trying to think verb tense.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I'm wrestling with the verb tense in my own mind. Whenever the Japanese, all right, to make it present tense, whenever they participate, I like to watch. Okay. Right.
Usually, every Sunday, on Sunday, TV broadcast some boring sports, marathon or golf.
Yeah. Bowling.
I turned my channel many times, but even other channel broadcasting horse race or very boring sport or some games. So actually on Sunday I don't do anything to do. I don't have anything to do.
Okay. All right, I can understand that.
Yeah, and even I complained before, Bowling doesn't have any the lessons in daytime on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll change my day off, Heidi.
Only a thing I can do is cleaning my house.
Well, there you go. There you go. There's a sport.
Kind of sport, even cleaning the kind of sport.
Exactly. All right. World Cup ironing. Okay. Now Heidi did something interesting here, and this is true. Now, not only for test preparation, English speaking, but in regular everyday life, English speaking, somebody may ask you a question like this, and maybe it's something you don't like at all. Which do you prefer, this or that? Well, actually, I don't like either one. Still, even this is maybe more important for normal conversation rather than test taking. you really should explain why. Okay? And Heidi talked about it some more. She gave some additional detail. In real life, if I say, which would you prefer, watching or playing sports, and somebody just says, actually, I don't like either, I would assume that you don't want to talk to me. If that's all you say, if that's it, and you stop talking, I'm going to assume that you don't like me and you don't want to talk to me. The idea being in English speaking culture, if you're going to be negative, you tend to to be polite, you should explain why. And of course, when it comes to a test structure, you need to explain why, because you need to add more detail. You have all different motives, but the truth is always the same, really. The reality is you need to explain why you're giving a negative answer. And again, that's pretty much true in everyday life as well as test taking. Now, for test taking, explaining why is always going to, if you have that in your back of your mind that you need to speak more, which frankly, I don't care. All standardized speaking tests want you to speak more as much as you can. So that's always there in a test situation. Then asking yourself why. Why will actually help you brainstorm more information to talk about. Why do you do that? Do what you do, or like what you like, or not like. Okay, preference questions, very common in both IELTS, and it's a definite question type in TOEFL. Okay, let's try another one like that with another topic. Sasha?
Yes.
What types of, changing the topic again, what types of music do you like listening to?
I like listen to reggae, rock, pop. I think many of kind of music. Not I don't have any specific. I think I listen to everything.
Okay. Any specific?
It depends on my mood, and I think also depends on activities, on my activities. Or if I in gym or home or an hour before I go to bed. So it depends.
Okay, well, there you go. See, that's better. You're using the "it depends" strategy to add more to your answer. It's very useful, frankly. Okay, but Sasha, I don't have any specific, and you didn't say anything. Specific is an adjective. You can't just say. You can say I don't like anything specific, and then anything is your subject noun, but I don't have any specific. Doesn't work. Kind, type, genre, sure, right, exactly. You need a noun to modify with it there at the end of the sentence there. Okay. Great. Try even, okay, in test preparation, definitely even in real life, if you have a kind of what types or what kinds of something question, try to add a little detail to help the conversation at all. Sorry. All right, which Sasha did. He said it depends on when, and then that helped him to add more. Okay. Let me move on to Rashid. Let me make it a definite preference question again. Rashid, do you prefer, again, music, Do you prefer listening to live performances or recorded music?
No, I prefer to listen to recorded music because I don't. Yes, I do like live music, but I don't like the crowd. It's too crowded for me to be there, and with a lot of people, a lot of shouting. I don't like that. I like to listen music in a quiet, peaceful way, and yes, that's the reason why I like recorded music.
Okay, all right. Now that was a pretty decent job there. Did you catch what Rashid did? Um, he talked about why. He definitely explained why, and to explain why, he talked about he used contrasting words and sentences, and he talked about both live and recorded music to some degree. Furthermore, good job, Rashid. You concluded. Concluding is simple. It's not always necessary, but a conclusion is very simple. You're just restating your opinion, which clearly you did. That was quite clear, and I understand the reasons why he chooses one and not the other. That was a great example. Good job. All right. Now, for example, if that was a question on a TOEFL exam, in TOEFL you have 45 seconds that you need to fill up. So a little bit, I think you probably spoke about 30 seconds. I'm guessing. I don't know. But you can always add a little detail by giving examples, you know. So saying something like, for example, I went to a Metallica concert and I threw up all over my shoes because I was getting claustrophobic. All right, that's a little example. You can add a little bit more, flesh it out with examples, especially, again, if you're taking any kind of English speaking test. It's always a good idea to flesh it out with examples from your personal experience. They're easier, or not. You can make up things. Who cares? I want to move over to Min, still on the topic of music. Here's another type of question that you may get, in particular in possibly a CAE or a TOEFL exam. Min?
Yes.
Can you play any musical instruments?
No, I don't know how. I can play the musical instrument. Yes, but I like to learn to play guitar, but I don't have a chance to study. Yeah.
Okay. Now here, all right, this is a common question. Again, when you answer negatively, no, I don't play. Why, Min? Add that information. Why don't you play a musical instrument?
Yes, because I work many hours a day, and that make me lazy to learn anything else. And I spend a lot of time for work and learning English for entertainment for my family. Yeah.
Okay. And time with my family. Okay.
Yeah.
You only have one family, so not your families. Or I hope.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Family.
Maybe. You have several families, several wives, different cities.
No. Yeah.
That's
Only
good.
one wife. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Okay. Well, regardless. Okay. Also, what I had mentioned earlier to Ahmed, talking about the future, you mentioned that you would like. You didn't say would. I like to learn to play the guitar. I would like to learn to play the guitar, or even better, use a conditional. If I had time, past tense, had time. I would like to learn to play the guitar.
Would like.
Yeah, sure. Okay, but how about you never tried to learn an instrument when you were younger?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Many people do. All right. I'm going to move on to Ahmed. I'm going to change the topic a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to talk about reading. Ahmed, do you like reading?
Yes, I like.
Okay. And then to flesh out your answer, why?
You ask me why?
Yeah, why do you like reading? Sure.
In this life, it should be full of the new information, information, and it should be up to date. Your information, my information, especially in my specialist section. For instance, I'm focused in IT. So I have to read about the new information come and try to make some subscription, some journal and some magazines. This is for my specialist, and in general, I have to read to know the world, how it's come, or how it's what's is happening in the world. So I have to read newspapers and some magazines.
Okay. So you have to understand current trends or gain current knowledge or get current information. Current would be useful vocabulary word for you here. Okay. All right. So the first question, do you like reading? Frankly, in an IELTS exam, every question you should be explaining why you think what you think. Because if you don't, they're just going to ask you anyway in IELTS. In TOEFL, it's timed and it's recorded, so they're just going to ask a question. But Ahmed, let me ask you a follow-up question. Clearly, you read to get information. Do you ever read just for pleasure?
Sometimes for the pressures, and almost to be ready and to be more enjoyable.
Okay. To be ready, I think I understand. More enjoyable, I'm not so sure. So you usually read to get information.
Yeah.
Okay. But okay. You can use a quantifier, but occasionally, or an adverb that shows frequency. Occasionally, I read for pleasure, for enjoyment, the noun. Okay.
I see.
Enjoyment, or sometimes, occasionally. All right, would be a good way to say that. All right, Heidi, swinging around, back to you. Another type of question that you may have in some of these standardized tests is problems, solutions questions. Heidi, clearly you're a language learner. I know from talking to you, obviously you're learning English. I know you've also been trying to learn some Spanish. What do you find difficult about learning languages, or what are the problems with learning languages?
Depend on the languages. Problem problem for me is much different. I'm Japanese. My Japanese pronunciation is much different from English. But at first I studied Italian. Italian pronunciation is very similar to Japanese.
Really?
Yes, but grammar is much different. Then second, I learned English. English grammar is much easier than Italian, but pronunciation is very difficult. Now I'm studying Spanish. Spanish grammar, yes, grammar is very difficult. Conjugation of verb.
Okay. Well, again, here Heidi is breaking it up because she studied many languages, so it's easy for her to break up this topic into 2 or 3 separate things to talk about. That's really the key, one of the main keys to doing well in any English speaking exam, is breaking it up into different things to talk about. Okay. Okay, but the grammar is more difficult. Okay, I don't know how to do this. Many times in particularly IELTS exams, you'll have a problem. What are the problems with whatever, or what problems does your city have, or transportation in your city, or pollution, or whatever, economy, what have you. Then they may ask you a question about solutions. Okay, Heidi, have any solutions for your English learning problems, like pronunciation in English or grammar in some of the other languages you studied?
About Italian, I already finished. About English, English pronunciation, yeah. I found some site, some short novels, short stories. And then at first I read that story. Then I click another place. The American person, teacher, or I'm not sure, read the same the article. Then I'm listening his pronunciation. Then I'm reading loud.
Okay. All right. I'm listening to his pronunciation.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Do you know a website, or you just are finding these as you went along? Is there a specific place that had these short stories?
Yes. I found it in some place. EC or ECC. I'm not sure. Learning or something like that.
EC or ECC learning.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, just for other students or viewers out there that may also find that advice helpful. Okay. Let me try that same. This is usually in IELTS. This would be near the end of the test. This is a kind of a higher level, more difficult type question, problem and solution. It's also a writing question in IELTS, often problem and solution. Let's practice this a little bit more. Sasha, how about you? What problems do you have in learning English?
It's not a problem of, but it's I think the most common problem for everybody. It's idiomatic expressions. Because there is no rule. You can even guess what the phrase means. So you just have to remember it and try to use it as soon as possible. Also phrasal verb, but in many cases I can guess right what does specific phrasal verb means.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I think the most would be idiomatic expression.
the most difficult would
Difficult,
be,
yes.
or challenging, or whatever adjective would be. Okay. And phrasal verb is countable. Phrasal verbs, rather, are countable. Phrasal verb is a countable word. So sometimes phrasal verbs, because you're talking about them in generally. Yes, I know what you mean with idioms. Of course, that's very true. And frankly, many phrasal verbs are idioms, really.
Yes, very similar.
Yeah, similar idea. Okay, very clearly he outlined the why of it all, why it's a problem. All right, pretty good there. Okay, we only got a couple of minutes. So what solution do you have, Sasha? Do you have any solutions for how to memorize or remember phrasal verbs and idioms?
As I have already said, it is to use them as soon as possible,
Yeah.
or at least to hear it in a movie or TV series. It's the same with words for me. Sometimes there are words that I can't just remember it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But for me, it's enough one time to hear it somewhere, or maybe use in some text or email, and that's it. It's enough to not trying to review it.
Okay. 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 By the way, especially not in TOEFL, but especially in the IELTS, they may ask you for the same information twice. They do that. It's a trick to get you to do what Sasha just did. As I already said, or as I mentioned previously, as I just mentioned, they're trying to see if you know how to use one of these phrases and then rephrase the information in a slightly different way. That's part of the test. The interviewer did not make a mistake. They're doing that on purpose. It's a trick to see if you know how to repeat information properly.
Was I right?
Yeah, you did it.
Okay.
And I was doing that on purpose. I really was. I know that you already said the solution. I just wanted to hear what you would do. Okay. We've only got seconds left. I got to get going because I'll be right back here in Verbling with actually an IELTS speaking class. But thank you guys very much for participating in the class and helping me out, actually.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you later.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.